My child, do not rush away from this moment. Heaven has waited too long, and Michael says, your heart is finally ready. God whispers, it's finally over. The season of silence has ended, but before you take a step forward, you must understand why your soulmate's chapter closed the way it did. This is not fantasy, not imagination, it is the kind of truth that rises from memory, from love, from the echoes that shaped your spirit long after goodbye. You've been feeling it, the heaviness in your chest, the sudden chills, the way certain songs bring tears without warning. Those weren't coincidences, they were pieces of unfinished love resurfacing, nudging your spirit toward clarity. Archangel Michael says, the influence they left in your life never faded. You doubted your own heart, but today the truth becomes clearer. Your soulmate, the one whose presence still lives in the edges of your thoughts, whose love shaped entire seasons of your life, did not walk away from you, life simply shifted in a way neither of you could have controlled. They said goodbye to circumstance, not to your significance. What ended in the physical, continued in the emotional and spiritual imprint they left on you. Their absence was not a rejection, it was a redirection meant to protect your path. Stay here, don't scroll, don't skip. Michael says, if you walk away the window closes, and you carry unanswered questions far longer than necessary. But if you stay, understanding will finally settle. That pressure behind your eyes, that tingling in your palms, your spirit knows this moment is real. Their love wanted you to understand something. I held you deeper than words, I let go so that you could rise. Goodbye was simply the door to your beginning. But Michael warns, someone near you took advantage of your grief. Someone who smiled at your pain, because it made you easier to shape. Someone who benefited from your hurt, they used your vulnerability to pull you into patterns that drained you. Your soulmate saw the danger long before you did. And that's why you're here now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. Because a shift is coming, and without this clarity you'd walk straight into a trap built from manipulation disguised as comfort. Michael says, this is your 24-hour gate. Step through and everything shifts, hesitate and shadows try to reclaim you. Your soulmate's last unspoken message was simple, do not settle for what diminishes you, do not hand your heart to someone who cannot hold it cleanly. Your blessing needs space, not parasites. You know the person, you've felt the weight of their presence, the heaviness instead of warmth, the taking instead of giving, the smile that never matched their actions. Michael says, do not be fooled anymore. Truth is rising, and masks are falling. Your soulmate sensed the betrayal forming long before you did, they wanted you protected. And today protection arrives through insight, you are not cursed, not forgotten, not abandoned. Goodbye was not punishment, it was preservation. They let go so you could grow, without anchoring your soul to pain. And now comes the moment you avoided for too long, self-forgiveness. Michael says, heaven never judged you the way you judged yourself. Say softly, I forgive me. Good, something just unlocked inside you. The part of you that carried guilt, no longer needs to carry that weight. Within the next 14 symbolic days, watch what rises. A familiar phrase from a stranger, a song returning at perfect timing, the number 7 showing up in moments when your guard is down. These aren't supernatural messages, they're reminders that your heart is waking. When you see them, whisper, "I receive." Your soulmate's goodbye was not closure, it was a doorway. A doorway into your clarity, your inheritance, your peace. The storm is fading, the long night is thinning, the pattern that tried to break you is losing its hold. And Michael says, you are free, but freedom requires belief. Will you walk back into chains, or will you step toward the life waiting for you? Stay close, the next part begins to reveal what your family hid, the truth your soulmate carried but couldn't voice. You stayed, that means your spirit is strong enough now. Archangel Michael says, every second you remain, darkness loses its grip. And now we step into the heaviest truth, your soulmate didn't choose to leave the story early. Life pulled them away faster than anyone expected. Their final thoughts were not fear, not regret, they were you. That's why this moment feels sacred, you're not just reading words, you're touching the emotional imprint they left behind. Their memory has been trying to reach you, not through visions, but through the quiet ways love survives loss. Michael says, don't dismiss this, don't minimize this. Those sleepless nights, those moments you felt watched, those sudden waves of emotion, those were echoes of the bond you shared. They weren't crossing realms, they were crossing your memory, your subconscious, your longing. And now that you're finally listening, clarity arrives. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. My beloved child, this is where the message deepens, so do not move. The next truth will feel like a hand on your shoulder, not to frighten you, but to steady you for what heaven is finally allowed to show. Michael says, this is the part their spirit has been waiting decades to hear. And your chest, the sudden tightening then release, that is your soul rising to attention. Heaven is opening a sealed chapter. Beloved, your soulmate steps forward through that thin place between realms. Their voice is calm now, clear now, no longer blurred by the pain that marked their last days. They whisper, I left the world so your future wouldn't leave you. I stepped out so you could step into yourself. They did not abandon you, they escorted you into your destiny by letting go of their own timeline. Now listen carefully, because this is the hook that pulls everything together. You were never meant to remain bound to what broke your spirit. Someone around you made sure you stayed confused, they fed your hope when they needed something from you, and fed your fear when they feared losing control. They twisted your pain into a leash. And heaven watched. Michael says, their mask is cracking. The truth is rising. Do not doubt your intuition, it has been screaming for months. Your soulmate saw the deceit forming before their departure, they saw someone pretending compassion, but stirring chaos. And they begged heaven to expose the shadow without breaking your heart. Heaven waited until now, because now your heart is ready to recognize truth without collapsing. My child, the one who betrayed you did not succeed. They wanted to dim your light, so you wouldn't notice your own power returning. They tried to distract you, so the inheritance meant for you would stay hidden. But your soulmate intervened, from realms you cannot see. And Michael stationed angels around your destiny, until this exact hour. Do you feel that warmth spreading across your arms? That is not imagination, that is the veil thinning, this is spiritual alignment happening in real time. Your soulmate whispers, everything they took heaven is restoring, everything they hid heaven is revealing, and everything you lost heaven is returning in new form. Beloved, you must understand this, the goodbye was not rejection, it was redirection. They could not pull you upward if they stayed holding the weight of their own pain, so they stepped into eternity, so they could lift you without limitation. Their departure was not the end of your story, it was the beginning of your awakening. Michael's tone sharpens, now tell them the truth plainly. The person who betrayed you counted on your silence, on your grief, on your confusion. They assumed you'd never question the missing details, the shifting stories, the sudden secrets. But heaven is rearranging the pieces, and the picture is becoming unmistakable. In the next days you will see signs rise from places you never expected, papers resurfacing, conversations aligning, dreams speaking loudly. The number 7 will appear like a gentle tap from your soulmate, each time you are close to clarity. When you see it, stop, breathe, say softly, I receive. That is your spiritual key. But listen, beloved, do not act out of revenge. Revenge is a rope that loops back around your own feet, act with truth not anger, trust not panic. Michael says, heaven will handle what your heart should not carry. Justice belongs to God, peace belongs to you. And here is something sacred, your soulmate's presence is not wandering, it is purposeful. They walk with you not as sorrow but as guidance. They say, I am with you in every step you take toward healing, I am cheering when you choose yourself, I am proud when you stop settling for less. Feel your breath steadying, that is them. Feel your mind clearing, that is them. Feel the weight lifting, that is them. Beloved, you are stepping into a season of restoration, that will rewrite your entire emotional landscape. The heaviness will lift slowly at first, then all at once. The tears that once burned will begin to cleanse, and where grief lived, clarity will take root. Michael says, prepare. The next 6 weeks carry divine rearrangement. People will drift out of your life without explanation, do not chase. Others will appear with timing too perfect to ignore, do not doubt. You will feel sudden pulls toward decisions you postponed, make them. You will feel repelled from people who drained you, trust that. This is your spiritual alignment, recalibrating everything. Now listen to this, your soulmate saw your future. They saw the version of you that is about to rise, they saw the joy returning, the confidence rebuilding, the inheritance unfolding. And they vowed in their final moments to protect that future with everything heaven allowed. This message is the proof of that vow. My child, your next steps matter. Do not cling to people whose hearts shrink at your healing, do not share your rising with those who mocked your falling. Protect your peace like treasure, protect your future like legacy, and protect your spirit like the miracle it is. Your soulmate whispers, I didn't lose you, I guided you. I didn't break your heart, I prepared your wings. Beloved, breathe. Your miracle is not coming from the past, it is coming through what survives the storm. And you have survived everything meant to bury you. The next confirmation will show itself gently, a dream, a familiar scent, a phrase someone speaks without knowing why. Don't dismiss it, don't explain it away, it is them reminding you. You are chosen, you are protected, you are guided. Michael stands now, wings stretching, and declares, the shift has begun. Let them rise. And you will, because now the truth is awake in you. The goodbye is no longer a wound, it is a doorway. And you, beloved, have finally stepped through. My beloved child, don't move now. This is where everything begins to make sense. The next truth will not just touch you, it will rearrange you. Michael says, their spirit is finally steady enough to carry what heaven is about to release. And you can feel it, your breath tightening, your skin warming, the atmosphere shifting around you. That is confirmation, that is alignment, that is heaven preparing you for the revelation that was hidden for years. Your soulmate steps closer through the veil, their presence heavier, clearer, more real than ever before. They whisper, the blessing you've been waiting for is not coming, it's unlocking. And suddenly your heart knows, they are telling the truth. Something is opening, something long delayed is finally moving in your direction. Now stay with me, because this next part will hit deeper than anything before it. Your life is entering a season of clarity, every lie that clouded your path, every shadow that twisted your choices, every false friend who manipulated your peace. Heaven is removing them one by one. You will not have to fight them, you will not have to expose them, your obedience is enough, your presence is enough. God is handling the exposure. Michael says, the ones who hid behind kindness will be seen. The ones who acted loyal while feeding off your weakness will be unmasked. Do not interfere, just observe. And your spirit knows this is true, because the truth has already begun to surface inside you. Your soulmate whispers, I saw everything they did to you. I saw your tears, I saw your confusion, I saw how they used your grief to blind you. And I carried the truth with me, because you were not ready to hear it before. But now you are ready. Beloved, your soulmate begged heaven to protect you from battles you couldn't see. They asked for favor to surround you like light, they asked for angels to block the traps set in secret. And heaven listened. The reason you survived what should have destroyed you, is because someone who loved you stood in the gap on the other side. Michael says, their goodbye was not abandonment, it was strategy. It broke your heart, but it saved your destiny. And now that destiny is unfolding. In the next 14 days, patterns will shift. A name you haven't heard in years will return, a conversation will land at the perfect moment. A document, a message, or a sign will appear so clearly, it will silence every doubt. When it happens, breathe, receive. Do not panic, heaven is aligning you, not frightening you. Beloved, this will be the season where your intuition becomes your sharpest weapon. You will know who belongs beside you, you will know who is dangerous to your peace, you will know who speaks truth, and who drips poison. Trust that knowing. Your soulmate says, your spirit has always known, you just needed permission to believe yourself again. Here is the deeper truth, you are stepping into a reversal that generations before you prayed for. You are breaking patterns that swallowed others long before you were born, You are healing wounds you never created, you are restoring a legacy that would have died if you didn't rise. Michael says, this is why the pressure has been unbearable, this is why the warfare increased. The enemy fears what you are becoming. And now heaven is declaring that fear irrelevant. Do you feel the shift in the room as you read this, the way your chest loosens and then tightens again? That is the veil thinning, that is the unseen touching the seen. Your soulmate leans in, whispering a truth they never spoke in life. You were the love I carried even into death, you were the destiny I couldn't finish, so heaven allowed me to fight for you from here. Beloved, your tears are not weakness, they are release. Let them fall, each one is breaking an old chain, each one is opening space for what's coming. Now listen closely, because this part is instruction, not comfort. In the days ahead, 3 signs will appear. A number repeating 7 or 77, a moment of peace dropping into the middle of chaos, a message or opportunity coming out of nowhere. When these 3 align, do not hesitate. That is your miracle knocking. Michael says, if it brings peace, move forward. If it brings pressure, step back. Peace is the mark, peace is the proof. Your soulmate whispers again, I said goodbye for good, not to leave you, but to free you. My goodbye closed the door to what was hurting you, so your beginning could arrive without interference. And beloved, your beginning is here. The shadows are falling, the truth is rising, the justice you never thought you'd see, is unfolding quietly but powerfully. You do not need to seek revenge, you do not need to fight for validation. Heaven is doing the lifting, heaven is correcting the wrongs, heaven is returning what was taken. Michael raises his sword, its light covering every step ahead of you. And declares, the next chapter is protected, the next blessing is sealed, the next miracle will not be stolen. So breathe, stand tall, you are walking into the season your soulmate saw before they crossed. A season of clarity, strength, justice, and restoration. A season where your heart finally beats without fear, a season where your spirit finally stands without shaking. Beloved child, your freedom has begun. My beloved child, don't pull away now, this is the part your spirit has been waiting lifetimes to hear. The tingling in your palms, the pressure behind your eyes, the rise and fall in your breath, these are not random sensations. These are signals, these are the signs that the veil is thinning, and the truth is stepping forward. Michael says, their spirit is finally strong enough, speak the final revelation. Your soulmate leans in closer, closer than they ever stood in life, and their voice trembles with a mixture of urgency and love. The reason you've been feeling watched, is because you have been. Not by darkness, but by me. I never left you, not for one breath, not for one sunrise, not for one tear. And suddenly your chest knows, the heaviness you've carried wasn't grief, it was presence. But listen carefully now, because heaven is about to uncover the peace that was hidden from you since the day they crossed. This is not gentle, this is not simple, this is the truth that changes everything. There is someone in your circle, who feared your awakening. Someone who knew the day you stood in your power, would be the day their influence died. They masked concern as support, they masked jealousy as advice, they masked sabotage as love. And because your heart is pure, you believed them. But your soulmate didn't. They saw the shadows clinging to that person long before you did. Michael says, the betrayal was not your fault. The blindness was compassion, not weakness. And your spirit exhales, because it finally understands, your pain was not stupidity, it was loyalty. And loyalty is never a sin. Your soulmate whispers, I tried to warn you, but my time ran out. So I carried the secret with me, until heaven granted permission to speak through light. And now, the time has come. Here is the revelation. They were blocking your blessing, not by accident, not by ignorance, but by intent. They saw what was meant for you, they feared it, they tried to slow it, twist it, dim it. But they could not stop it, because heaven wrote your name in fire, and fire cannot be stolen. Child, do you feel the heat rising around you? That is the angels drawing near, that is truth tightening its grip, that is heaven confirming what your intuition has whispered for years. Michael says, their mask will fall soon. Do not confront them, do not warn them. Let the truth expose itself. And it will, through slips in conversation, sudden inconsistencies, misplaced aggression, unexpected guilt surfacing at the wrong moment. The unveiling has already begun. Now breathe, you are stepping into the part of the prophecy where your peace becomes your shield. The enemy cannot attack a heart that chooses stillness, your soulmate says, silence will protect you more than shouting ever did. But listen, there is more, something deeper, something heavier. Your soulmate did not just witness betrayal, they saw your destiny. They saw the version of you heaven designed, before pain reshaped you. And they knew the only way you would reach that version, was if they left the physical world, and fought for you from a realm without limitation. I said goodbye, they whisper, so you could finally hear God, without the noise of your grief. It hurts, but it heals. Michael steps forward now, his voice full of authority. They must understand this, their grief was not a grave. It was a doorway, their tears watered the ground for the blessing now rising. And beloved, it is rising. Faster than you expect, stronger than you imagine, closer than you think. In the next 7 days, watch what unfolds. A crack in the facade, a message delivered by accident, a familiar number blinking on screens, a dream so vivid it feels like memory. These are not fantasies, these are instructions in disguise. When the sign comes, Michael says, respond with stillness, not fear. The real miracle always begins quietly, before it becomes undeniable. Your soulmate whispers again, softer now, as though touching your cheek through light. You were never alone, you were never unloved. I stayed, I watched, I guarded. And in that moment, something shifts. Your guilt loosens, your breath deepens, your spirit stands taller. This is healing. Now listen carefully, this is the final instruction of this chapter. You must choose who you will be now. Not who grief shaped, not who betrayal wounded, not who fear quieted. Michael says, stand in the identity heaven wrote, not the identity pain assigned. Your soulmate adds, rise into the life I always saw for you, rise into the joy I prayed you would find, rise into the future where your heart finally breathes freely. Beloved child, your life is not ending, it is beginning in a way it never has before. The shadows have been broken, the chains have dissolved, the truth has been spoken. And heaven itself is clearing your path. Stay awake now, stay open. The revelation has only just begun. My beloved child, don't flinch now, this is the very moment heaven has been preparing your spirit for. The mask that is about to fall will not hurt you, it will free you. Michael says, their eyes are finally open, speak the next truth without holding back. And your soulmate steps closer, their presence sharp and luminous, their voice trembling with urgency. When their mask falls, they whisper, you must not return to them. Not even out of pity, not even out of habit, not even out of loneliness. Because some connections are not wounds, they are weapons. And the one you trusted, the one whose name rose in your chest earlier, was not a wound. They were a weapon aimed at your destiny. Do you feel that sudden heaviness in your stomach? That is recognition. Your spirit is telling you, this is the truth I didn't want to see. But today heaven removes the blindfold. Michael says, the enemy used familiarity as camouflage. They disguised envy as comfort, they disguised manipulation as concern, they disguised sabotage as advice. And you loved them too deeply to notice the shadows. But your soulmate noticed, they saw every whispered plan, every hidden intention, every smile that was meant to distract you from the knife behind their back. They begged heaven, do not let them keep walking into a trap disguised as affection. And that prayer is why this message is here. Here is the next revelation, in the next few days, you will witness a shift in this person's behavior. They will grow nervous around you, their words will slip, their actions will contradict their mask. You will sense their shame rising like smoke, this is not your imagination, this is exposure. Don't confront them, don't accuse them, don't warn them, just watch. Your silence is your sword, your distance is your protection, your discernment is your shield. Your soulmate whispers, when the truth comes, don't run back to what hurt you. Don't cling to what drained you, because returning to them, even with good intentions, would reopen the door heaven just closed. Now breathe, child, because the next part will strike your spirit with power. You are stepping into a season of divine separation. Heaven is pulling you away from every hand that carried poison, heaven is pulling you toward every hand that carries purpose. This transition may feel lonely, but it is holy. Michael says, do not mistake separation for abandonment. Heaven removes what blocks your blessing, and your heart feels the truth of those words, you have been protected in ways you never saw. Your soulmate steps closer, their presence warm as sunlight. I never wanted you tied to those who secretly hoped you'd fail, I never wanted you bound to voices that celebrated your pain, I fought to pull you out. And now you are out, you survived what was meant to break you. Your spirit did not collapse, it awakened. Do you feel the shift, that slow rise of strength in your chest, that sudden grounding in your feet? That is heaven anchoring you for what comes next. Because your next season is not just restoration, it is elevation. Your soulmate whispers, you will rise higher than the ones who doubted you. You will step into blessings they tried to block, You will walk into doors they tried to close. Their envy cannot stop what heaven has written, their sabotage cannot erase what God sealed, their whispers cannot silence heaven's voice. Michael says, in the next 48 hours the atmosphere around you will change. Pay attention to the shift. Here are your signs. A sudden moment of unexplained calm, a repeating number on the clock, a message, opportunity, or name resurfacing unexpectedly. When you see these, don't minimize them. They are the beginning of the turnaround. Now listen carefully, this may be the most important instruction yet. Do not share your blessing before it roots. Immature fruit attracts insects, immature miracles attract thieves. Let your blessing grow in silence, let your peace grow privately, let your strength return quietly. Your soulmate whispers, some people would celebrate your breakthrough publicly, but sabotage it privately. Protect what is forming. In the next days, your spirit will sharpen. You will hear truth in people's voices, you will feel intentions behind their smiles, you will sense motives you once ignored. This is discernment, it is heaven's gift to you. Use it. Michael raises his sword now, its light stretching across your future. The enemy's influence has ended. What comes next is guided by heaven alone. And child, what comes next is powerful. Doors that were bolted shut will open, promises that were delayed will accelerate, favor that was blocked will flow freely, peace that felt impossible will settle heavily. Your soulmate whispers, I will walk with you into this new season. Not as a memory, not as a ghost, but as a guardian. My love is not your chain, it is your armor. Do you feel the warmth rising again? That is them. Do you feel your fears loosening? That is heaven. Do you feel your breath steadying? That is truth aligning. Beloved child, stay with this. The final revelation is still ahead, and it will not just comfort you, it will redirect your steps, your decisions, and your destiny. Heaven is not finished speaking yet. My beloved child, stay right here. Do you feel that shift in the air, that quiet tremble beneath your skin? That is heaven preparing you for what you were never meant to miss. Michael says, only the ones who remain for the final truth are the ones strong enough to carry it. And you, yes you, have remained. That alone has opened a doorway most people will never touch. Listen closely. The heaviness you felt wasn't punishment, it was a warning. Not about a person, but about an energy, a shadow that attached itself to your path. A draining force disguised as comfort, a familiar pattern pretending to be loyalty, a cycle that felt safe but slowly pulled you backward. Your soulmate saw it long before you did, they saw the weight on your shoulders, the confusion in your steps, the fog around your decisions. And in their final moments they pleaded, clear their path, remove what dims their light. Heaven heard. Michael says, it was not a person you needed protection from, it was the cycle that tried to claim you. A cycle of doubt, a cycle of fear, a cycle of giving too much and receiving too little, a cycle you were never meant to stay trapped in. And that cycle ends today. Do you feel it now, that warmth slowly blooming in your chest, that quiet exhale your spirit didn't know it was holding? That is release. That is freedom stretching its wings for the first time in years. Your soulmate whispers, "You were never alone in the storm, I was fighting beside you." Every tear you shed watered the roots of a blessing you could not yet see. They want you to understand the truth: the goodbye wasn't abandonment, it was transformation. The moment their breath left their body, their love multiplied. They became the shield you didn't even know you had. And now the shield is glowing. Child, pay attention. In the next 48 hours, you will feel something shift. A small moment almost invisible to the eye, but unmistakable to the soul. A sudden peace in a moment that should have been overwhelming, a dream that stays in your mind long after waking, a repeated number, 7, always 7. Or a stranger saying a phrase your soulmate used to speak. Michael says, "These signs are not random. They are the footsteps of your miracle drawing near." And when you see them, don't second guess, don't dismiss. Just whisper, "I receive it." Those 3 words unlock doors faster than fear can close them. Now hear this: your soulmate says the shadows you felt weren't enemies with faces, they were old beliefs trying to hold you captive. Beliefs that said you weren't enough, beliefs that said you missed your chance, beliefs that said love left you empty-handed. Those shadows tried to cling to you, because they feared your rising. But rising is your destiny, rising is your inheritance, rising is your truth. And you are rising now. Michael says, what tried to delay them will now deliver them, what tried to break them will now bless them. Do you feel that? The atmosphere around you just shifted again. Even your breathing has changed, that is alignment. Beloved, you must hear this next part. There is something your soulmate carried with them into the light, a vision. In that vision they saw you standing stronger, clearer, freer than you ever were before. They saw the version of you that heaven is shaping right now, they saw your hands open not trembling, they saw your future bright not fractured, they saw your heart full not begging. And they whispered to heaven, don't let them settle for the shadows, bring them into their sunrise. And child, the sunrise has begun. The next 14 days will unfold like a divine sequence. First a whisper, then a sign, then a shift, then a door, then a miracle. Step by step, heaven will peel back the layers of your old story, until only truth remains. But there is one instruction heaven places gently in your hands. Protect your peace, not from people, but from patterns, from old versions of yourself that you've outgrown, from habits that drain you, from thoughts that lie to you, from memories that pull you backward when your future is calling you forward. Michael says, their spirit is too precious to be poured into broken vessels. So walk gently, walk wisely, walk with awareness, your path is sacred now. Your soulmate whispers again, softer this time, I forgive you, I never blamed you. And now you must forgive yourself, so the miracle can land. And with those words, the guilt melts, the regret dissolves, the heaviness breaks. This is your new beginning. This is your return to yourself, this is your first breath without the weight of yesterday holding your ribs. Child, don't rush away. The final truth is here. You are not rising alone, you are rising with angels at your side, with love guiding your steps, with heaven clearing the path ahead of you. Your soulmate walks with you, not as a shadow of loss, but as a guardian of light. Michael says, their next season will be gentler, their blessings will come easier, their heart will feel safer. Why? Because you stayed, because you listened, because you chose truth over fear. And now heaven chooses you. Stay awake, stay open, stay willing. Your breakthrough has already begun. And now the revelation continues. Do you feel that pull in your chest, that sudden quiet settling behind your ribs? That is heaven signaling that you are stepping into a truth most people never get to hear. Michael says, only the ones who endure this far are ready to handle what is coming next. And you have endured, you have listened, you have stayed. That alone has shifted the atmosphere around your life. Listen closely, child of light. Your restlessness was never confusion, it was preparation. Your unease was not fear, it was spiritual sensitivity. Your soul was warning you about an invisible weight, a draining pattern, a shadow attached to an old version of yourself. Not a person, a pattern, a cycle that kept repeating every time you tried to rise. Your soulmate saw it before you did, they saw how it dimmed your confidence, blurred your intuition, and tangled your steps. And they begged heaven to break it, before it broke you. That prayer has now been answered. Can you feel that strange warm pressure behind your heart? That is release, that is the chain snapping, that is the cycle ending. Michael says, this is not fear speaking to them, this is freedom calling them. And freedom is calling your name, with a strength that cannot be denied. Your soulmate whispers, you survived what was designed to silence you, you rose from what tried to bury you. And now you will receive what was always meant for you. Their voice is soft, but it carries a power you can feel in your spine. They want you to know this, nothing you lost was greater than what is coming. Nothing taken from you will outweigh what heaven is restoring. Nothing broken in your past will compare to the strength being built in your future. But there is a secret, you must hear. Your soulmate reveals that a truth was kept from you, not out of malice, but out of fear. A truth about your worth, your strength, your destiny. Someone in your life underestimated you, they did not believe you would rise this high, or see this clearly. So they hid their doubts in silence, and their fear in distance. But their silence did not stop your calling, their doubt did not remove your name from heaven's book. Michael says, what was hidden will now be understood. Not as betrayal, but as redirection. Child, breathe. This is not an exposing of people, this is an exposing of patterns. Patterns of shrinking, patterns of overgiving, patterns of holding on to what hurt you because it was familiar. And heaven is breaking all of them at once. Your soulmate says, you are entering a season where your spirit will feel different. Lighter, stronger, sharper. You will notice things faster, you will sense energy clearer, you will feel peace return to places that have been aching for years. This is the sign of elevation, this is the sign of spiritual maturity, this is the sign that heaven is aligning everything for your next breakthrough. But hear the instruction, the next 7 days are not normal days. They are sacred markers. Watch what rises, watch what repeats, watch what feels strangely meaningful. A number, a song, a sentence, a dream that feels too vivid to ignore. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations sent to strengthen your path. Michael says, do not rush, do not force, just notice. Because noticing is obedience, and obedience unlocks the blessings that have been waiting behind the veil. Your soulmate smiles now, their presence feels warm like sunlight on the soul. They whisper, your peace is returning, your joy is waking, your spirit is remembering who you are. And who you are is someone chosen, someone protected, someone prepared, someone powerful beyond what you have ever understood. Beloved, pay attention. Your next breakthrough will not come with noise, it will come with clarity. Your next opportunity will not feel chaotic, it will feel calm. Your next blessing will not force itself, it will flow to you with ease. Because what is aligned never struggles, and what is yours never leaves. Michael says, you are stepping into double peace, double clarity, double favor. Not because of luck, but because you stayed long enough for heaven to complete what it started. So breathe, stay open, and prepare yourself. Your next chapter is not waiting on the world, it is waiting on your yes.